people have anything to say or talk? I mean, we've got all the high-tech stuff here. We gotta... Not in 10. I don't know. I'll bring that up at the, on our next meeting, the full meeting. This is special. We gotta clear up some things. No. Josh is on the phone. He's in California, and so, Thursdays I'm leaving for. There's been assassination. Yeah. We all set? Okay. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Board of Selectmen special meeting for Wednesday afternoon, October 23rd at 2 p.m. I'll move to...
Well, I'm sorry, Rich, Mr. Chairman, before you get started, I just want to let folks know that Josh Antrim is participating through remote participation, and we're able, as long as he has audio, which Josh, maybe you want to do a roll call so Josh can announce that he's participating.
Josh, can you hear us? Okay. And you're here, you're present? Very good.
Okay.
This is not a fill-in, you're not a fill-in or anything, huh? Is somebody, impersonating you or anything? All right. Okay, great. Next time, we gotta get a bigger screen. I'm gonna make a motion here, Josh, are you ready? Okay. I move the Board of Selectmen vote to order a special town meeting be held on Saturday, November 23rd, 2019, in the main hall at Nahant Town Hall, 334 Nahant Road, beginning at 12:30. I so move that. Is there a second? Any further discussion? Hearing no discussion, all those in favor signal by saying aye. Aye. Motion passed. I move that the Board of Selectmen vote to open the warrant for the special town meeting that is to be held on Saturday, November 23rd at Town Hall. The motion's been made. Is there a second? Motion's been second. Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signal by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. I move the Board of Selectmen vote to add the following articles as read by the town administrator and as written in a draft warrant before us to the open warrant for the special town meeting that is to be held on Saturday, November 23rd, 2019 at the town hall. Is there a second? Second. The motion's been seconded. Discussion.
I'll read the articles now.
Okay.
Before you vote.
Okay.
Article 1 is Water and Sewer Enterprise, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate from available funds in the Treasury or transfer from available funds an additional sum of money to operate the Water and Sewer Enterprise Fund for fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2019, or take any other action relative thereto. Article 2, Fire Ocean Rescue Boat, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate and/or appropriate from available funds in the Treasury or transfer from available funds the sum of $20,000 or any other sum of money for the purchase of an ocean rescue boat, including the payment of all incidental or related costs, or to take any other action relative thereto. Article 3, Citizens Petition, Zoning Bylaw Amendment, to see if the town shall vote to amend the Nahant zoning bylaws as follows. In Section 4.10, uses permitted in a natural resource district, Subpart E, entitled Prohibited Uses, at the end of item 2, between the word above and the final period, insert the parenthetical clause. See other parts of Section 4.10, subparts A through D, and also see Section 2.02, definitions for nonprofit, religious, or educational purposes. Article 4, Citizens Petition, Zoning Bylaw Amendment, to see if the town will vote to amend the Nahant zoning bylaws to clarify the definition of nonprofit, religious, or educational purposes by making the following changes. Item 1, amend the definition of nonprofit, religious, or educational purposes by 1, inserting only to the extent required by MGL Chapter 40A, Section 3, following by a nonprofit educational corporation shall be permitted in any district. 2, changing Section 4 to Section 5. And 3, deleting parking and inserting and parking as described in Table 6-1 following for each district. The definition would thereby read in full. Nonprofit, religious, or educational purposes. Land or structures for religious purposes or for educational purposes on land owned or leased by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts or any of its agencies, subdivisions, or bodies politic, or by a religious sect or domination, or by a nonprofit educational corporation shall be permitted in any district only to the extent required by MGL Chapter 40A, Section 3, provided, however, that such land or structures shall be subject to the regulations concerning the bulk and height of structures and determining yard sizes, lot area, setbacks, open space, and building coverage requirements as described in Table 2 of Section 5 of each district, and parking as described in Table 6-1. Item 2, amend Table 1, Table of Use Regulations, by inserting inside the parentheses and Note 3 below, following C definition for nonprofit, religious, or educational purposes, and changing the designation letter from P to N in the row under the column labeled NR. Item 3, amend Table 1, Table of Use Regulations, by inserting the following after Note number 2, 3. Uses or structures for nonprofit, religious, or educational purposes are allowed in a natural resource district to the extent provided in Section 4.10 of this bylaw or to the extent required by MGL Chapter 40A, Section 3.
We need a vote.
Now you vote for you vote.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the article submitted by the town administrator for the special town meeting. Motion's been made. Is there a second? Seconded. Motion's been seconded. Further discussion?
Yes, I have a few questions. So, the water and sewer, transfer, is there a proper identified for this?
Yes, because the tax rate is already set, we can only transfer funds from either free cash or available funds, or in this case, retained earnings. And what happened was last year when we voted on this article in town meeting, we were unaware of increased costs associated with Lynn Water Sewer that came after town meeting. So in order to make up the difference, we have to have this vote. I'm pulling up the amount. The amount is $62,351. So that will come from retained earnings.
Then on the ocean rescue, so, I know they, giving quotes on repairing the old boat and it seemed feasible. Is the $20,000, is that based on a quote for a new boat or that's someone's estimate?
Right, so the question is about the ocean rescue boat and the $20,000 and have we received a quote? So the current ocean rescue inflatable boat is over 10 years old. It's at a point where repairing it doesn't make financial sense. And what the fire department did was they got a quote for a new boat that this boat will allow us to get into shallow water and make rescues, launch it from the beach when necessary. That quote is for more than $20,000. However, we have about $10,000 in capital funds under the fire department currently that we can use towards this. The fire department is also fundraising funds on their own, and we think that we could also trade in the outboard from the old boat to make up some of the difference. So the new ocean rescue boat would be a little bit more, would be more than 20,000, but this would supplement the difference. And of course, we will provide further information to the finance committee to be included in their book of recommendations.
Okay, good. I was wondering about the outboard, because I think that's fairly, that's kind of a trade.
Yes.
And the other two articles, I guess both are fine. I was just thinking about the sequence of the articles. I don't think that that makes any difference, because I don't, they can go, it could get, that one gets approved, both gets approved, or either gets approved. I don't think the sequence, would change anything based on that. But the only other question was the last paragraph, last sentence of the last paragraph. Above it says, only to the extent required by MGL, yada yada. And the last sentence says, or to the extent. Oh, is that exactly how it was written in the proposal?
Yes. We have to copy and paste exactly what comes in with the petition.
Yeah, we can't change that petition. That petition is signed, yeah, and whatever they put down, it has to be exactly the way it's presented.
Josh, it says in the petition, inserting the following after note number 2. 3, uses or structures for nonprofit religious or educational purposes are allowed in a natural resource district to the extent provided in section 4.10 of this bylaw or to the extent required by MGL chapter 40A section 3. To the extent provided in section 48 or to, oh, so it's repeated. We'll make that edit so that it's identical to the petition.
Okay, that's, all the discussion I had.
Okay,
So motion's been made, discussion's been made, just need a roll call vote.
okay. I have a couple of questions, but I'll wait.
Okay.
All those in favor signal by saying aye. 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 Motion carries.
Now this one.
Wait a minute, does anyone got any questions out there, want to talk or anything before I close the warrant? Close the meeting? Nothing? Okay. Josh, I move the Board of Selectmen vote to close the warrant for the special town meeting that is to be held on Saturday, November 23rd, 2019, at the Town Hall, and to send it to the Advisory and Finance Committee to begin taking positions with the understanding that ongoing review will occur by the Board of Selectmen and the modification may occur at a later date. I so move that. Is there a second?
Seconded.
Motion second. Discussion. I want to let everyone know we're in charge until we have a new selectman, Josh and I. So I want to make sure everyone realizes, yeah, we're in full capacity here. Josh, thanks for taking the time from your vacation. All right. All those in favor signal by saying aye. 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 Motion carries. Warrant's closed. Okay. That's it. Anything else?
I can provide a quick report on the sewer break. I just left there before coming here to the meeting. We dug into the hole. We have an understanding of where the break is. Now the Grenice is on site. They're making the repair. We hope to be completed by tomorrow, the latest. I think we'll be able to close it up tonight, but it depends on how the repairs go, but we're working hard to get that done and want to thank the citizens for their cooperation and apologize for the inconvenience, and we will provide an update on the town website and Facebook page as soon as we can to let them know that the road has been opened back up and that the sewer is back to normal.
I want to thank you for your quick response and send out the message to the townspeople. That was great. It was, Josh, you there?
Yeah, just back now. I called Rob for a moment.
Okay, no, I was congratulating Tony for notifying the public and all the citizens of the town about the sewer break and the road closures and moving the school bus stops, and God, it was like unbelievable. You did a great job. That was excellent. Well done, well said. You know, I think it's a great thing to send those calls out, because people all know that we've got a major sewer break, you know, and the roads are down, especially in that area, and that you also allowed for the fishermen to go back out and be able to use the wharf, you know, uninterrupted from their operation. That was great. I congratulate you. Congratulations. Josh, I'm going to move that we close the meeting.
Okay, can I just ask about one other thing?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
The Nahant Historical Society has asked if they might have permission to use the Nahant seal on some of the merchandise they sell. We can discuss that at a meeting, if we don't have permission for that.
Well, before we give permission, we should ask town council and you, make sure that is not a problem.
And I know we have to include the town clerk in that conversation as well.
Why the town clerk?
I believe the town clerk is the actual keeper of the seal, per se, so.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll definitely take a look into it.
Yeah. We'll look into that, Josh. Yeah, I have no problem. I think it's, you know, anything for the Historical Society. They do such a great job. Okay. No. Go ahead, you have a question.
Deb, do you mind just coming to the mic in case?
Thank you for this opportunity. Debbie Vanderslice, 368 Nahant Road. I just wanted to ask, relevant to the discussion to the special town meeting, how does that tie or get brought up with the special election for this new selectman?
Okay, we haven't, that date has not been set yet. We haven't discussed, we'll probably be setting that up and with the town clerk, and we're gonna meet with her and set that date for the selection. You know, that election, it'll probably be sometime in January, right now. Looks like the first week of January, second week of January.
But won't that double the cost to the town to have two?
Well, the problem is, last time we did both, it was kind of confusing. The town clerk had asked, she's right here. She's wondering why we don't have the special election for selectmen and this town meeting all in one day.
I understand that, but are we sure that that's not just for the annual meeting? Is it also set for a special? Oh, okay, I was just wondering, because I know one of the citizen residents got up and spoke adamantly at the last meeting about the cost of a special election, and I just thought we could save the town money if we combine.
So the answer that the town clerk, just so folks that didn't hear it, that are tuning in, is that at the last town meeting, the town voted to separate elections and town meetings to two separate days. And secondly, Peggy, is there a 64-day requirement that you mentioned? Is there, no, but that wasn't a question that was asked, but secondly, there's a general law factor in as to how soon we can have a special election, from when you notice it and how much time there is in between that notice and when you have the special election.
I think it's
And
100 days. Is it state law?
I'd have to, we'll double check it, but it's longer than, we're inside that window, so it would be impossible to, based on that general law and that required time frame, we wouldn't be able to have it on November 23rd.
I'm no expert on any of this government stuff, but I thought I read that the election for selectmen could take place whenever, as long as it was more, like if it were within the 100-day window of our annual town meeting. I guess you could just wait to the town meeting, because obviously people don't want to spend money on special elections. But what I read was, as long as it's further out than 100 days before the annual election, which would make it any time really beyond that 100-day. I'm just saying this because I know somebody was really concerned about the cost. That's all. You guys know better than I do.
I think we're in the process of looking into when we could potentially have the special election for the seat. We haven't fully decided that yet. What you're talking about is local bylaws, but there's still state-required notice time that supersedes, that we'd have to adhere to.
That was what I looked up. It was on the state website.
So it may prevent us from having it that soon. So as soon as we have that information squared away, the Board of Selectmen and the town clerk will set a date.
Okay, thank you very much.
Does anyone else have any other questions? Okay, Josh, I'm going to move to adjourn. Motion I made.
Seconded?
Motion's been second. Discussion, further discussion. You have anything, Tony?
Well, thank you for,
Oh,
I like the whole meeting.
thank you very much. All those in favor say aye. Aye, motion carries. The meeting is over. Thank you, and good afternoon. Thanks, Josh.
Hey, the flu shot. Flu clinic opens up in a half an hour. Flu clinic opens in a half an hour if you guys haven't gotten your shot yet, and since you're here.
Well, you can't